Welcome back to Timber's Flooring, and today, what a lovely day it is, we're in Burston, which is a stone's throw away from Diss. Today, got a real nice one for you today. This is a parquet floor. It's a herringbone floor, should I say. It's a really tidy floor, really good condition. So the customer, they want it fully sanded and then recoated in 2K Invisible Protect. So that's the product that they want. So that will give a freshly sanded look, but it will be protected. Very popular, this finish now. But as you can see with the floor here, I'll just show you some close-ups on the floor. Some marks, watermarks. So I've got to get all these out. But a lot of the floor isn't too bad condition, really. It's pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this and start having a little go at sanding. Probably gonna start on a 60 grit with the Hummel, just going diagonally across. And then I'll see how it comes off. And then I might jump straight onto the planetary sander, the Trio, and do it that way. So yeah, so tag along with me, we'll see how this one goes. I've given myself 2 days to complete this, should be able to get it done in one. Oh, and also the customer wants a full fill over the whole floor, so if you look closely, I'll just show you. There's some gaps in the floor like this. You can see all of this floor will be homogeneous and should be no gaps in the floor once I've done all the filling. You can see all these gaps. Some of the floor's all right, but some of it needs attention. So yeah, that's me. I'm gonna get my machine started and out now. And yeah, I'll do a little time lapse so you can see what I'm up to, and I'll tell you the process as I go along. And yeah, let's see how long this one takes. See you later.
So we start with the belt sander with a 60 grit, and make sure you get all the old lacquer off on the very first time over the floor, because it makes all the other sands easier once you've done this.
Right, that's the first sand done with a 60 grit over the whole floor. Gone really well. It took me about 45-50 minutes to do that, but no, it's come off really well. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to going around the edges next. Get all the rubbish off with the edges, and then we'll get the filler out and then filler over the whole floor, and that's all I'll do today. Actually, it'll be a bit of a short day for me today. Personal reasons, I've got to do some other stuff, but normally I would carry on and do more sanding, but I'll leave it at the filler, make sure that dries anyway, and I'll come back tomorrow and then sand off all the filler. And oh yeah, one good thing with the floor, all the marks came out of the floor, all the ring marks that we saw earlier. So they've now all disappeared, so that's really good. So we'll just make this even nicer, get all the scratches out with the planetary sander a bit later, and yeah, we'll be good to go. Right, and now about to do 60 grit with the edger. I'm using a ceramic discs 60 grit. So yeah, should all come off with that. We'll see. If not, I'll let you know if I change my mind. But yeah, 60 grit ceramic discs. Let's go.
Grit with the edger all the way around the room. Make sure you get all the old lacquer off, just like you did with the belt sander. Makes it easier for later on. So the belt sander and the edger took me about 2.5 hours to complete.
That's all the edging done. I've just got to go over now the corners, but I'll do the corners later on after the filling, because it won't take long. So yeah, I've got to do all the corners around the whole room. But now I'm gonna, I've just put the dust from the edger into a mixing bowl, and I'm using Loba Easy Fill for this one, which is a water-based filler. Doesn't smell, smells a bit like PVA to be honest. And yeah, I'm just going to mix it all up so it makes a nice goop, and it goes in all the gaps in the floors like this, all over the floor. And I'm using, to do that, a trowel. You can use anything though, really, anything that works for you. But yeah, this is what I use to do that. But yeah, we'll do that, and then I'll let you know how I get on.
So mix your filler up so it's a nice smooth paste, a bit like a nice porridge, if ever you have porridge. And fill over the whole floor, filling all them gaps up with that lovely thick porridge. Other brands of filler can be used. I'm just using Loba as I like their products and I find them easy to work with.
Right, I've run out of filler, so I'm going to order some now, and it should be here tomorrow morning, or I might go to the shop and actually get some right now. So whoops, sometimes these things happen. But I've done just over half of the floor and I've run out of filler, so need to get it to finish this floor off, or otherwise it won't look right. So I'm going to call that a day now, let half of it dry off. I'll do the other half with filler tomorrow morning, very first thing I come, when I come. And then I'll give that just like half an hour to flash off and dry off, and then I'll sand off everything tomorrow morning. So, okay, have a good day, whatever you're doing. I'm going to go and get some filler. See you later. Good morning, we're back in the room, more filler mixed up. I'm just going to do the rest of this half of the room, okay? See you guys.
So once you put the filler in the floor, please give it time to dry and flash off. It should go very clear and very light once it dries. If you don't leave it, the filler can come out when you sand over it, so it's very important for it to dry.
Right, that's the floor fully filled now. That's filler over the whole floor. All the gaps are coming in quite well. It's all filled up. So the next job is to sand all this filler off. So I'm going to use the Hummel sander again with an 80 grit, the belt sander with an 80 grit now to get all the filler off. And then I'll go around all the edges, all the way around again with the edger, again with probably 100 grit on the edger. And then I also have to get out the corners still, which I'll do in a minute. I'll do as soon as I've finished the sanding. I'll then sort that. But yeah, I'm going to get right onto that now, and we'll see how it comes out. Okay, stick with us. Put it on time lapse again for you.
So here we go with the belt sander again, sanding all that filler off with that 80 grit. Don't miss any filler, it's very important to get it because it looks a different colour when the lacquer goes onto it. So it all needs to come off. All you want staying is the stuff you've left in the gaps of the floor. And sand in the same direction as you did the first time you went over the floor with the belt sander.
There's one thing with this floor which I haven't mentioned, and that's it has cork around some of the floor, not all of it. So there's cork around the fireplace, all for expansion reasons. But some of it
has become a bit holy. So I'm not going to fill that in. So I'm just I've got a bit more cork, I'm going to fit a bit in there and put a tiny bit of glue and see how we go with it. Might put 2 bits like that. But yeah, I'll video me doing this. And there's another bit over there which I need to replace as well. So yeah, it's a lot easier filling these gaps because this cork here is in really well. I don't want to disturb it actually, it's a really good bit of cork, so there's no point taking that out when I have spare cork. You can get this from many DIY shops. This is from Wicks, this one. They just sell them in little packs, about 1/2 metre long, and yeah, quite cheap as well. So yeah, just get your Stanley knife, cut it in, tiny bit of glue to hold it in, and then sand it flat with the edger, and all should be good. I'll try and video it. Fast set polyurethane adhesive. This one's from Morel's. It's, any like Gorilla Glue or anything like that would do. Just a tiny bit because that foams up this adhesive. Force these in the gap. There you go. It's not 100% perfect, but it's a lot better than having an ugly gap or a big lump of filler put in there. That wouldn't look very good if you had a big lump of filler. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've got another one to do over the other side of the floor. But yeah, it's a good result, I think. So back onto the edges with the edger. I use the 100 grit here. Make sure you sand off all that filler. It needs to all come off. And then after the edger, I then get the corners of the floor. I use a file sander, but anything can be used for this. You can do it by hand if you haven't got a tool to do this. A multi-tool is pretty good with the sanding attachment on it. I like a file sander though because it's quite aggressive for all sorts of floors. It's good for all sorts of floors. But anything will do. So the edging, the file sanding, and the fitting of the cork. This all took round about an hour and a half to do. Now it's time for the finishing sander with a 100 grit. This is not necessary if you're DIY and doing the floor the first time yourself. But if you can get hold of one, it will be great because these really do get rid of all the sanding marks. Because if you sand one way with the belt sander, you do leave sanding marks on one of the blocks going the opposite direction. So this machine gets rid of all the scratch marks made from that. However, you can still get a good finish without a finishing sander like this Trio. But I do advise it if you can. If you don't use the finishing sander, use a belt sander with 120 grit going the same way as you did before.
Right, that's it. All the sanding is now done. That's looking really good. Really good. I'm glad I filled in all the cork bits around the fireplace, and all the scratches are now out of the floor. All that's left to do now is a good hoover up with the old Henry, and then we'll wax some lacquer on the floor. And as I said before, the lacquer we're using, Lobo Invisible Protect. So yeah, really happy with how it's gone. It's looking really good. Right, let's get hoovering. Lacquer. Mix the lacquer together and use a medium palm roller and a normal paintbrush to do the edges and the corners. And just work diagonally the same way you did sanded the floor. Work methodically in about a metre lengths at a time, or whips, sorry, at a time. Don't do too much in one go. And apply it quite liberally, and then let it dry for quite a few hours. I let it dry here for about 2.5 hours. So here we go. It's almost finished. This is pretty much the look it will be. All that's left to do is a very light sand with a buffer machine with 120 grit mesh screen, a good hoover up, and then recoat with the final coat of lacquer. But yeah, it's come up really, really good. Just ever so slightly rough, but it's really not that bad. But the buffer machine will get that nice and level. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching it. I've enjoyed doing this one. It's been a good one. It's gone really well. And you can do this. Just do it how I say. High sanders is a bit more tricky, so if you can get yourself some higher professional sanders, you'll find it a lot easier and a lot quicker going than you would a normal higher sander from a Juicens or somewhere like that. They're just not very good. You can still do it and make it look like this, but it'll be a lot more harder than if you had a professional sander. And you can hire professional sanders. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, tagging along, and join me for the next one. So, if you don't have a buffer or a 120 grit mesh screen like what I'm using here, then 120 grit or 150 grit if you've got that. Rub over the whole floor on your hands and knees very lightly, just to get rid of the hairs in the wood that have come up from the first coat. Then give it a good hoover up like I'm doing now, very thoroughly, and then apply your second coat and final coat of lacquer. I hope you've all enjoyed watching this. Thanks for tagging along, everyone. Please like, comment, subscribe if you can, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Many thanks. Bye for now.